Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's May 8th, 2025, and I got some hot news for everybody here. Let's talk about it. One big article I seen today is the nearly 200,000 borrowers of federal student loan debt, or borrowers, were notified today that they were going to start having their wages and benefits garnished and by the U.S. government due to unpaid federal student loans. Now, when people didn't think it was already hard enough to get by on paying bills, shit's about to get really bad now because they're not giving you a choice to pay it or not pay it. They're just going to straight take it out of your weekly, bi-weekly, monthly checks and your tax returns until they get every dime back, is pretty much what they're saying. You know, with people that's got $60, $80, $100, $200,000 in student loan debt that's trying to just let it go, that's a few years of garnishing wages to quite a few years. I mean, that's like paying a house. I mean, I don't know how much they're going to take out of the check. I don't know if they base it off a certain limit, but it's going to get rough for a lot of people. And so, I mean, it might be best to go ahead and just start at least making your minimums just to keep them from doing that. I don't know, but this is going to get real bad for a lot of people. And, you know, as it seems that the student loan debt is still increasingly rising in America each and every year. So I wish everybody the best. Hopefully, you know, people can find a way around it. I don't know how long it's going to last for, but as long as this administration's in office, they're coming after it. And but another thing that hit too is Jerome Powell. He announced that he's keeping interest rates steady right now because, you know, with the inflation and the way things are, you know, if he goes to adjust on it right now, it's going to send the economy in a worse turmoil than what it already is. So they just want to leave it steady right now, let it ride. I know a lot of people want it to go down, but in reality, if you go to lowering it down right now, I mean, it's going to have a major effect on the economy with all the tariffs and, you know, all the stuff that's going on right now with the ports running dry, you know, supplies coming in that's very little, truckers, you know, working, slowing down. They're not getting the business they usually get. I mean, a lot of corporations are taking a massive hit. I mean, all this is going to tie into one big circle. And so that's what he announced this week. That was stated by the Wall Street Journal. Another big one that hit this week too was Pakistan says India strikes on Wednesday. They declared it as an act of war. So I know them two countries are kind of battling it out right now. And but India's military described it as an operation as targeting terrorist infrastructure. India hit multiple targets across Pakistan in most widespread strikes in decades early Wednesday. It just seems like many countries are on edge, and you know, a lot of countries are on edge with each other. I mean, you have a lot of countries battling out. I mean, you look at us, we're in trade wars right now with many countries and trying to get negotiations out on the table and stuff. I mean, it's a very rocky time right now in the world, not just in America, but in the world in general, because a lot of things are taking place. And you know, I just wish everybody to be alert, you know, keep stocked up, you know, keep your finances in check, you know, do everything you got to do to, you know, stay ahead of the game, because the last thing you want to be is caught, you know, unprepared and something major happens, you know. So, oh, and then also, you all been hearing about the real ID, you know, for your driver's license and stuff. Well, as of this week, the real ID is officially required for air travel in America. Started on Wednesday, May 7th, 2025, travelers must use state-issued ID that's a real ID compliant, or they will be subject to further screenings at the airport. So basically, if you don't have this real ID and you've made an appointment with your DMV, DPS to get the new ID, when you're trying to fly or do anything, you're going to be pulled aside and further searched, which is going to delay you, which is going to cost you to miss your flight potentially. So if you haven't already got the real ID yet, which most of you probably have, I would definitely make an appointment or try to do a walk-in and get that done, because that's really going to affect you, especially if you do a lot of traveling within, even domestically in the U.S., you know, or even go out of country. I mean, it's something that's gonna be mandatory. So, you know, get it done, because they're not playing around no more with the ID situation. And the one who put that on is the 9/11 Commission recommended it as a new standard to enhance security. So it's all based on a security function that they're doing, which is understandable. But I mean, a lot of people have put it off, and you know, they've said airports have really, TSA will come over, take the people that doesn't have the real ID on their license, pull them off to the side, and they have to go through a series of scanning and everything, leading to potential, you know, hours of waiting, and you know, you start missing flights, can't get refunds, all that. It's gonna affect you all around. So ensure that you got the star up at the top right corner of your license. You know, you'll be able to tell if it's a real ID. If you're not sure, look it up online. I even checked mine again, even though I just got an ID. I just wanted to see kind of what it looked like. But yeah, check your ID out. Make sure it's got all the proper stuff on it before you start traveling, especially this summer. I know everybody's going to go take summer vacations, go flying down to Florida, or go to the beach, or you know, somewhere. So just to help y'all out, just get it done, and in that way that hopefully you'll have a good summer break, and kids will be out of school, and you can, you know, take them somewhere nice, hopefully, and have a good summer. Another thing too that was announced, that back on the university talk, Columbia University was forced to cut 180 staff members that worked on nothing but grants. These individuals were let go on this past Tuesday by the Trump administration with their new actions and budget cuts they have taken into place. Additional universities across the country are, you know, trying to prepare for long-term funding, you know, fight with the federal government. So they're battling it out with the government on these, you know, grants and layoffs and stuff. So, but universities are being forced. Government's having to cut their funding. They're having to cut people. So, I mean, they're having to downsize, which is going to affect the staff, obviously. And then, you know, who knows if, you know, professors, instructors, and all that eventually start losing their jobs and stuff, you know. And I mean, university's already cost enough as it is, you know, but, you know, you start cutting staff too, you know. It's like, are they going to have a student to teacher ratio? You know, is it going to be fit, or how's this going to play out? Let me know in the comment box your opinion, how you think these major budget cuts are going to take place, or, you know, how it's going to affect the universities, especially these Ivy Leagues, you know, Harvard, Yale, all these big colleges and stuff. So, yeah, just feel free to share some information on that. But yeah, as of today, I took a look at gold and silver prices. You know, gold is currently sitting at $3,308 per ounce, roughly around that margin. It's fluctuating, it goes up and down daily, but I mean, it's still, you know, I remember years ago it was a lot less than that. So if you bought gold 5-10 years ago, I know you really increased your value quite a bit. I mean, I know gold and silver, it's not really something you're going to get rich off of. It's not like a crypto where it's just going to shoot up overnight or nothing, but it secures your wealth for the long term, you know. It fights against the, you know, the inflation of the dollar, you know, US dollar and everything. So, but one thing about gold and silver is it's recognized worldwide. So, I mean, you know, if you're traveling across, you know, in South America or Europe or anything, and you're in a pinch or something, you need to have some money, you can, you know, sell a couple ounces, keep an ounce in your wallet or something, use it for a bargain in case if you're, you know, in another country and you happen to get, you know, robbed at the moment, or you're in a mess, you know, and you need to like use it to get yourself out of a bind. You know, it's a lot better to carry something that's, you know, you can get out of a tough situation. So, but yeah, silver's sitting at 32, a little over $32, $32.53 to be exact as of right now. So, you know, silver's kind of riding there. It's went up a little bit over the past few years, but I mean, they say it's going to explode. Hopefully it does. I mean, I like to collect a lot of silver. That's personally why I like it. Gold's a little, if you can get it, you can get it, but it's, gold's pretty expensive for a lot of, people, I know. But if you can afford to buy an ounce or two every now and then, it doesn't hurt to have it. You can always cash it in, get your money back, turn it into liquid cash. They're good assets to have, so you can't go wrong. Also, looking into the stock market, I know cryptos have been kind of spiking here today, and they're been up a little bit. I know there's a lot of different cryptos for you Robinhood traders and stuff like that. So cryptos are, they're volatile, but hey, you just gotta be cautious with it. They can make you some money or they can break you. So, but that's the fun of it, right? I know Dow Jones, they were up 254 points as of today I seen. So they're not doing too bad. I know the stock market's kind of took a hit this year a little bit, well, quite a bit there for a while because of people's 401ks dropping. But I've heard it's spiked back up a little bit and people's earned some of that back. So, just monitor, invest good, invest smart. I'm not providing any financial advice or anything. That's not me, but I'm just saying, watch your assets, choose wisely, seek help, with a financial advisor if you need it. There's a lot of them out there if you don't quite understand a lot of things. But yeah, oh, big news today also. There was a new pope elected. They finally found a new pope to take over. Robert Francis Prevost. Correct me if I pronounce that wrong, but Robert Francis Prevost, the first American pope to be elected today. I thought that was kind of pretty neat. I've never seen that done before, but I wish him well, and hopefully the Catholic Church is, going to do good with him and everything, and as he's set to lead, and a lot of big events going on, in the world today, and just continue to follow, and I will keep you all updated as I continue to get further information and to take you on this journey, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, it was y'all have a good evening, and we'll talk to you later.